But this election is going to be huge for two reasons. One, Donald Trump's an old man just like Joe Biden. But also, Trump, if elected, can only serve. He's 77 years old. He's an old man just like Joe Biden, who's 81 years old. If Trump is elected, he can only serve 4 years. So this pick is huge. If it's not you, who would you like to see Trump run with?
I thought we were going to talk about New Hampshire
We're going to talk all about it, but I'm curious because
well,
if you're not on the short list, who do you like?
I think that's a derogatory way of referring to, President Trump. Saying he's an old man. He's one of the most energized.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. Just chronologically, Donald Trump. My dad's 81. I would say the same thing. I'm just saying that Donald Trump is an older man.
Looking like we've fully reached the stage of MAGA's deification of Trump, where it's frowned upon to say anything that might be seen as negative. And a desperate Kari Lake is willing to enforce the rules.
So his pick, more so than 8 years ago in 2016, is going to be crucially important. If it's not you, who would you like to see run with the former president?
Well, first of all, Donald Trump is not an old man. He is a very sharp man. His cognitive abilities are unlike anything I've ever seen. I talk to him all the time. He's incredible. And, it was one of our founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, was 81 years old when he helped to draft and write the United States Constitution. Age is just a number. It's what's going on up here. And there's a lot going on up here with President Trump. Unfortunately, with Joe Biden, there's not much going on up here.
Donald Trump is a superhero. I've never seen anyone think the way he thinks. When he says words, words are impressed by him, even when he doesn't make any damn sense.
Fields and jungles of Vietnam, they delivered a swift and sweeping, that sweeping. It was swift and it was sweeping like nobody's ever seen anything happen. A victory in Operation Desert Storm. A lot of you were involved in that. A lot of you were involved. That was a quick one.
Videos of elderly politicians that are on the road reciting speeches about countless different people are all over the place. But the reason ridiculous debates about cognitive abilities and IQ tests keeps coming up is because Trump can't stop talking about it.
But I said, well, I'm good at tests, so what's the story? He said, well, the problem is, people will find out, and if you do badly, it's not a particularly good thing. You don't want to have some guy get like a disaster. I said, well, is it a hard test? It can be hard. I said, look, I got to take it because I got to shut it up. And I took it, and I aced it. I think it was 30 questions. And let me tell you, they always show you the first one, like a giraffe, a tiger, or this, or that, a whale. Which one is the whale? Okay, and that goes on for 3 or 4, and then it gets harder and harder and harder, and then it's multiplied 3,293 times 4, divide by 3. They have plenty of tough stuff.
A giraffe, tiger, a whale. You notice this is a recreation of the last election cycle that I didn't think looked too good for him.
I said to the doctor, it was Dr. Ronnie Jackson, I said, is there some kind of a test, an acuity test? And he said there actually is, and he named it, whatever it might be. And it was 30 or 35 questions. The first questions are very easy. The last questions are much more difficult. Like a memory question, it's like you'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV. So they say, could you repeat that? So I said, yeah. So it's person, woman, man, camera, TV. Okay, that's very good. If you get it in order, you get extra points. They said nobody gets it in order. It's actually not that easy, but for me it was easy. And that's not an easy question.
Donald Trump doesn't have an agenda or policy platform to pitch to Americans that they'll like. He's got grievances outside of courtrooms. He's got name-calling sessions and endorsements of racism to solidify his white supremacist base. So when he doesn't have much to offer voters, he's got to pivot to boasting about cognitive tests. But when you got Nikki Haley confused with Nancy Pelosi like he did here, people have to start paying attention to whether or not you're fully with us.
By the way, they never report the crowd on January 6th. Nikki Haley, did you know they destroyed all of the information, all of the evidence, everything? Deleted and destroyed all of it, because of lots of things. Like Nikki Haley is in charge of security. We offered her 10,000 people.